In a world of endless noise, one sound cuts through. GC Radio Hub. Your world, your sound. Imagine your favorite voices following you everywhere. From your smartphone to your car, your smart TV, even your virtual assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, live music shows and podcasts. All at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing out there? This is your cousin Chief from GC Radio, and welcome y'all to GC Radio today. And today we have a wonderful treat for you today. First of all, I got a treat for you. I got the legendary Levert experience in the building, and also with me we have my boy Stacey Adams in the building. So, first of all, Stacey, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just glad to be here. You know what I'm saying? Able to speak with some guys, man, that you know, there's uncharted grounds that some of us artists and some of the new artists will never get a chance to chart, man. They're able to experience certain levels of music, man, that most have never experienced. So I'm just glad to be here, man. Be able to chat with them.
Wonderful. Dave Tolliver's here. Dave, how you doing today, bro?
I'm groovy, man.
Wonderful. So Dave, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. You are no stranger to the entertainment community. You've been with Men at Large, and now you're doing the Levert experience. What is it like hooking up with the Rude Boys, Levert, and Men at Large combining to bring the Levert experience and come back to the public? What is it like?
I mean, it's what I wanted to do, man. When Gerald and Sean were gone, I asked Mark to join the group, and he was like, "Yo, I don't know," mumbling and stuff. But it just wasn't time. You know what I mean? And now it was just time, man. I think we're ordained. We're the last ones left, man. You know what I mean?
Thanks. So, Dave, give us a little bit. Let everybody know, you guys all are from Cleveland, correct?
That's right.
And how did you get started in entertainment? So, what is your history in entertainment?
Let's see. I started off in radio when I was about 16 years old. Well, I was 15. Next year it'll be 40 years. I started off with my uncle, who was like my dad. His name is Len Tolliver. He started me off, man. Just called me one night out of the clear blue sky and was like, "Hey, you got to come in and work tonight. Such and such got fired." And that started it off. Then, I had saw Gerald in the time of me doing that, and him and Jason, myself and Jason sang for him, and he was like, "I'm gonna hook y'all up." And then we didn't see him again for like 3 years because Levert, they were touring and the album was blowing up, and so it was a whole new ball game. And then 3 years later, after that, I was like 89. He was like, "Yo, I got this idea for this group. Da 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 da. I could do this, do that, and do this, and I want y'all to be it." So like a week later, not even a week, a few days later, we auditioned for him at Treble. And then a couple days later, we auditioned for his father. And his father's like, "Yeah, man, you got one, man. You got one." So from there, here we are, man. Third experience.
Wonderful thing.
You mentioned radio.
You mentioned radio. How long were you in the radio? What all did you do in the radio?
Man, next year it'll be 40 years. I started in 86, the summer of 86. And I'm still at it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, I'm going to get the syndication off the ground very, very soon. So we'll be gravy.
Wonderful thing there, bro. Stacey, you got any questions for Dave?
Yeah, definitely. So Dave, ask you something, man. Can you hear me?
Dave.
Yeah.
Man, come on, dude.
Go ahead, I'm right here.
So this is the question I got, man. How does it feel at this point in your career, man, to really still be operating at a high level? What's the challenges? What's the challenges of operating right now at a high level where you're at now in your career? You and Joe.
Well, I know for me, the challenge for me is learning the difference between my core and the Levert core, and doing things different, and to toe the line doing them. That's one of the big things that I've been getting chin checked about since we've been out here. Is just I have to learn who I'm performing for now. It's not Minute Large fans. It's not Dave Tolliver fans. It's mainly the Levert fans, and they we don't have to come in and oversing and do a bunch of extra stuff because the songs are already hits, and the songs that we have that we sprinkle in there are already hits. So you don't have to do a bunch of stuff because they're gonna speak for themselves, and the audience is going to they're gonna know it, they're gonna gravitate to it, they're gonna sing to it, and then they're older. Even though it's a six, what they started 84, we came out 92, like an 8 year gap. But like the time when they blew up, it was like 86, 87, I believe, with the first album. And when you calculate the time where you assume that you have the youngest fan, like their fans at the base probably would be 40 something at the youngest and on up. And when we went home to Cleveland to perform, it was some old folks in the building, you know what I mean? So just that's been the biggest thing for me is learning how to respect that nostalgia, respect that legacy, and be all that I can be within it.
So well, that's awesome. So Joe, let me ask you this, man. What do you right now in the point of your career, doing the Levert experience? How do you feel about the whole gelling and the process with you, Dave, and everybody in the group coming together? How much practice do you guys get? Like, what do you pull from to be able to go out there and execute on that level?
Just pulling from our experience. I mean, you gotta understand that we toured the Rude Boys. We toured with the Levert and the OJs for 2 years straight, like 40 something shows on tour, on the tour bus, moving around. So it's just a natural thing to fall in place, because I am who I am wherever I show up. If I'm singing with the Rude Boys, I'm Joe Little of the Rude Boys, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. If I'm with the Levert Experience, then I'm showing up as Joe Little of the Rude Boys, as part of a conglomerate with the Levert. But I know what the expectations are. When you're talking about Levert, you're talking about Eddie Levert's name that's being carried, the banner for that, Gerald Levert's memory, Sean Levert's memory. So it's a standard starting back all the way with the OJs, which is being polished, professional at all times, and carrying yourself with class.
Wow, that's me. I'm a fan. I went back and listened to some of the music. Chief sent me over some of the music. I'm familiar with the music. How do you guys? And this is a twofold question. And Chief, stop me from going too far because I know I'm a guest. I'm a guest interviewer today. But how do you
Man, this
guys?
is our show, man. We family here. We
How do
all
you guys?
family.
How do you guys handle the egos? Not saying there are egos, but I know when you get a group of talented men together, which I look at all you guys and having leadership qualities, and you guys come from a leadership position from your groups that you were with. How do you guys handle and suppress the egos going into the Levert experience?
We don't have that problem.
Mhm.
Not with us. We all fam. We all brothers, man. Joe and I have a different relationship. Mark and Joe have a different relationship. Myself and Mark have a different relationship, and so on and so forth. We don't have those problems with the egos. You know what I mean? Like I think I speak for Joe. I speak for us both when we say that we both are grateful and just thankful to be in this situation. Yeah, we still have other groups, other brands that we still work with, but right now this is what's bringing the money across the majority. You know what I mean? So we're embellishing and taking it for real, and doing what we're supposed to do within the like I said last time, just doing the right thing while we're within these presence of the Levert situation.
Hey, that's a blessing, man. Because I know as an artist, I run into a lot of situations. But the older I get, I realize the more sincere we are when it comes to suppressing egos, because we realize time is limited. I always tell people, from me doing music and doing it now at the age that I'm at, I'm 44 years old. Well, 43, I'll be 44 in September. Um, the older you get, you're able to make better sound decisions, and it becomes about the business and execution and legacy. So, like I said, because I listen to all you guys' music, man, and from me listening, like I said, you guys have charted grounds that most artists this day and time have never experienced. You know what I'm saying? Y'all came at a time where you really had to sing, you really had to be able to execute. It wasn't no vocal code on the mic. It wasn't none of that. You know, like the first time I heard Dave sing, man, I was supposed to perform at that show, and I literally went and took my name off the list because I realized how unprepared. No, I realized how unprepared I was at that time, and I was seeing a true professional. See, most artists couldn't admit at the time. We talking about when I was just getting into the game. You know, when you get around talented people, if you ain't already together, you can get intimidated. You know, you can get to a point where you have to step back and say, okay, if this is what I got to be able to do, let me step back into the drawing board and get myself together. Because Dave was, when I first seen Dave Welling, man, when I say Welling, you know, I mean saying shit, man. It was amazing to me. I was, and I'm not saying it now. I said, whenever I talked to him, even when I first met him, I'm like, boy, you tough. And you know, you tough too, Joe. You know, at the end of the day, I never met you live, but I've heard your music throughout my life. But at the end of the day, man, you know, you guys, I think it's a blessing they couldn't have picked a better, you know, I'm being you two guys. I know the other, we waiting on, what is Mark, right?
Yeah.
Right. Wait on Mark, but I could have picked a better three guys to come in and give the experience, you know.
Right.
And, you know, never be another Levert, but the closest they going to get is y'all three.
For
And you
sure.
know, man, you know, I'm getting old. Like I couldn't really see. That's my man right there. What's good, bro? I just seen who that
Nothing
was.
but, man,
Party on
listen, you
that.
know,
Party on that.
yeah, yes, sir.
Party on that.
So you know,
Party on that.
how many shows y'all got lined up, D?
We got man, we in Oakland this weekend, then we in Charleston, South Carolina. I believe we in Macon, Georgia next. We in Atlanta, GA. Um Coming up, we have the Tom Joyner the Tom Joyner cruise coming up, and then we have the Soul Train cruise coming up. We got a plethora of shows, and we have some in the this coming in on the books
On
is
the
just
table.
really getting put together on the table.
So Joe, just to touch on something a little different, how did you manage juggling? You know, because I take care of my father too, and I noticed you were doing some things for your father in the break. But I'm just going to ask you a question: how do you juggle and manage that to have another career taking off some more, which you already took off, but
In-house,
this next leg of touring and taking care of your dad at home? How you
I
handle
mean, you know, I did it with my mom for the last 4 years of her life, you know, while she was on hospice. And, you know, it was just being there doing what was meant for me to do, you know, along with juggling the Rude Boys. At the time, Levert experience, we wasn't together, but also juggling my businesses. And just now is my dad, the Rude Boys, the Levert experience, my coffee company. I also have a company where I teach workforce development. I'm a life skills coach. And so I juggle quite a bit. But what I must say, Stacy, is that I'm very passionate about whatever I do. So it's no problem. It's all about, with me, life is a balancing act. And when you try to seek balance and work within balance, it helps you. Dave, thank you. If you're working on balance, you know,
Stop that.
but I know you gotta stop. If you're working out of a balanced situation and that's what you're striving for, you'll find your way. And then I use this method called SMART goals. When you use SMART goal method, is a module that allows you to be able to juggle the things in your life and put things in position. So it's all about positioning. And when I wake up, everything I do, I love. So it's no sweat.
So, you know, Dave, and you know, I've been watching you a long time. What really motivated me from seeing you, Dave, I seen you go through different phases. You know, I seen you before you had any issues to when you would come to the club, which you came and have to go through that. And for me, I felt like it was something you always went through with a smile when you were going through your physical situation. I noticed because I met you before it, but I saw you go through it and I saw you persevere. What gave you the strength, man, to be able to push like that, man? That shit was, I'm talking about, man, it was amazing. I never said that to you, but it was so much of your singing. After I realized you was a hell of a singer, which I already knew from men at large. When I saw you fighting through, and no show was too small, no show was too big, and your humility to be able to go through all that and not worry about who see you a certain way. How did you handle it, man? Like what pushed you?
That's a great question, bro. Man, besides the obvious, I think in life you learn, or you when you finally figure out when you're chosen or you're handpicked, you have to keep going. I've been through and seen a lot of things in my life. My grandmother used to always tell me, baby, no matter how bad you are, somebody that's a million times worse than you. And God or whoever you believe in will put you in, but he ain't gonna be like, my son. He gonna put you in situations and places. If that third eye is open, you're gonna be like, oh, that was for me. So he just kept, every time something happened, he put me in these positions where I'm able to bounce back quick, or I'm able to handle the whole situation or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because it ain't me, because I haven't been prepared for half the shit that I've been through in my life, more than half of it. From the injuries to the losses to the career up and downs, man. Nobody prepped me for that, man. And
It's
I
my bad.
just, no, you good. One, I had to keep the lights on. But number two, myself, I just learned to never quit. And I know it being fat and limpy on a cane and gimpy without it, it's like I didn't give a damn. I just knew that when I went in there with my talents and with my personality, I knew that I was gonna win regardless. So I didn't. It didn't really make me. I knew I had to do. I feel funny about it. I do. Like now, I'm still. When we're on stage, I still have certain issues, but luckily we got the team that's helping to put together the stage show, that doesn't put me in a situation where I'm gonna hurt myself or hurt the show, or fall and hurt somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's man, I'm a walking testimony, and that's what he chose for me to do. Shit, what I'm gonna do? I can't like unravel it myself. So but trust me, it's days where I'm like, damn, why me? And then I had a hero of mine, man. His name was Silver B, and he said they talked about Jesus, they did this, that, and the Jesus. So why not you? So
So and I know it's about the Levert experience and to show y'all a lot of shows we got coming up. But a lot of times, when I be talking to Chief and stuff, a lot of times people need to know what drives you because they already know as a vocalist what you guys bring to the table. That's why you're doing the Levert experience, and to choose, like I said, to be able to do that and get put in that position, that just don't happen. But now
right,
my thing that I like about when I was seeing you, I look at men at large as a group that never apex because of certain health reasons. And like I said, like you got a partner of yours, you got another half that you had to pretty much, I seen you going through, you have to plug in, plug and play, plug and play. And I know they can get tiresome. How tiresome is that to have to plug and play a key member that you love and you care about? How hard is that for you to do the plug and play and go to a show with different people and have to try to
hey,
do the same
Chief,
thing?
Chief, you fired, bro. You're effing
Why am I
fired.
fired? Why am I
Yo, man,
fired,
you
bro?
don't you ever come back on your station again, man,
No,
without this guy.
no.
Don't ever come back on your station again without this dude, man. Yo,
Why?
God,
I
dog,
got
he
Stacy.
he asked him some
I'm bringing
incredible
somebody
questions,
out.
man.
Man, listen.
Yo,
I want the Levert experience to be a great experience on GC Radio, and that's why I brought Stacy to the stage. We got to evolve. We got to give him
let me
something different,
find
brother.
let me
This was
find out he the
planned.
new
This
let me
wasn't an
find out
accident.
let me find out he the new Steve Harvey up in this piece.
But we're trying to make that happen. We're
Listen,
working on something. We're stirring the pot.
hey, listen, Chief, listen. I watch this dude, man, and Joe. See, I pick up little things because we all got trials and tribulations. I watch this man actually get booked for shows, having to find another member quick as he can, not really want to, and deal with so many different personalities. You get somebody here, then they want to make an announcement. When at the end of the day, he just plugging and playing. So I'm asking, the Levert experience, I know there's three guys coming together to give you an experience of the Leverts and what they brought. But now you guys have went through different things. Because I know I was in a group, but you personally, the first quarter, I'm gonna ask Joe something personally. How hard is it to replace your brother that you made your hit record with, and know every time you look over there, you sing with somebody else, and you got to just keep pushing and practicing is limited, and you hope they listening to the music. How hard is it?
I mean, when I the first time it happened, when Jason left, it was easy because we had the first time we ever performed so alone. That's why I know, things are written already. I met my guy Gemini, rest in peace. He was singing at this club, Club Levert from the Bulls had a club, and he was, security, and he was singing. I was like, yo, what up, dog? What's this, da da da? You sing? He was like, yeah. I said, you know our music? He was like, yeah, because Gerald wasn't coming that night, and this was the first time we were ever singing So Alone. And so when he came out, everybody went berserko. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, they went berserk because they knew him. He was a singer around the city. And when and I told him at the after party, I said, man, if something come up, I got you. And so man, when Jay left, I just made a call. I put out an APB. Turns out that my boy's wife was from Chicago. She knew him. She put out an APB. We flew up there, me and my role manager, to check him out because Steve Harvey had the Apollo competition up there. He won twice, went to New York. We got together, man. We rocked for about 24 and a half years, man. And then he died from COVID in '01. And then after that, I was just like, man, F this. I ain't want to do it no more. But that's what they want. So I picked up another guy, and this is where the plug and play comes in with my guy Benito. Man, this dude is a bad man, dog. The crazy shit is he's in my head, and he don't even know, like, we ain't talked about this. He in my head. Like, or that's just maybe something that he know. Don't come back on the station no more, Chief, without him, bro. Yeah,
Stacy didn't make you a permanent fixture on the show, bro.
No,
it's
man.
like and I know Joe will have a better perspective because he lost two original members of his group. You know what I mean? And so when you go down, and then after Gemini passed, me and Jason got back together again, and we did another album, only to not be able to finish the mission because he's on injured reserve right now. You know what I mean? And he wants to do things a little different. So I had to get somebody else because he couldn't go, and it's like it really don't taste good to me anymore. And then this fell out the sky, so I'm like, thank you, God. I'm gonna ride this joint till the wheels fall off. I'm gonna make it so if it don't go no more, Dave Tolliver done made his print. Like, I was about to say something crazy. I know they be getting on me about my analogies or some metaphor, but I'm gonna make my, without trying to outshine the rest of the team. I'm gonna make my presence felt. So if I have to come back around by myself, at least half or 75% of the people will come see me by myself. You dig? And I've been working on that too. But this is the perfect platform for it.
So,
Joey,
What's
Joe,
up?
written all over your face. How I go? You don't have to say a word.
Not up.
Boy, listen,
Watch
listen.
yourself,
Stacy,
bro.
he's trying to audition. He's like the sixth heartbeat.
Listen. The reason it's so good for me is because I'm a fan of both of you guys' body of work. To be it's not a lot of artists gonna be able to say they have a number one R&B record on no charts because everybody music jump around so much. It's a streaming crew, but for you to have to move on without the people you had your success with, spiritually and emotionally, how does that affect you, man? What does it do to you? How do you
make
get
it
by? How do
crack.
you handle that?
Well, you know what, Stacy? It's me being separated from my members came in phases. Okay, came in phases of disagreement with each other, and with with some drama. So we were separated before we actually I actually lost them. But once they were gone, it's been rough. The guys I've been with, G LeBeau and Kenny Miles, I've been with them for almost 13 years or 14 years of performing. And so it's a natural, but I still think of my brothers that's gone because I was with them before they even passed, actually. Um, Buddy had fell ill, a long time, a while back, so he was inactive. and he wasn't capable of being on the stage. And Larry, who wrote "Written All Over Your Face," he was in heavy into church for a while, and so he pulled away from it. And so I picked up off, and picked two new guys up with me, and we've been rocking and rolling. But I've always missed the original members. Melvin himself, he's had a couple strokes, and he's not capable. So I've been with G. LeBeau and Kenny Miles for 14 years now. Um, and it's been quite an amazing trip to be able to find guys of quality to put in a group that knows how to wave the
That's it.
ban, that knows how to wave the banner and swing the bat and know what the standards are. And so it's been quite gratifying. But at the same time, not to have Buddy there, the 1-2 punch there is really tough. Not having Melvin there with his energy is really tough. Not having Bingo around with his leadership and just his crazy ass is real tough. But what drives me is just knowing that I'm here to keep waving the banner. I'm here to keep swinging the bat for the brand of the Rude Boys, for the brand of the Levert experience, and it means a lot to me, man. We are very fortunate to be able to have the opportunities and still be going like we are. I'm 57 now, and so
Yeah, you just had a birthday, July the 14th, right?
then you better know it. The day
Yeah.
after Gerald. So me and Gerald was like two peas in a pod. He was my mentor. He was my brother. And he ushered me into a place of songwriting where it afforded me to win a Grammy Award. It afforded me to win a Billboard Award. It afforded me to work with a lot of who's in the business, man, and just be able to do the things that I do. So when I think of Gerald, even doing the Levert experience, man, thinking of Gerald and Shine, man, that's a lot, and is a great responsibility, a treasured responsibility to give my best each night and make Gerald proud because he did groom us to be great entertainers. Him and his father Eddie. And so even this past weekend when we was in Atlanta rehearsing, Eddie called in to talk to us, and he was like, "Look, man, remember y'all carrying my name. You carrying the legacy of my sons. Give your best and do your best. And if you're gonna do it, be dedicated." You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, my music career comes first because anything that I'm doing in life right now is basically afforded by me, being known as Joe from the Rude Boys. And I use that. I use that moniker because it's an accomplishments and no one can take it away from us. No one can take away what Dave has done in his career. No one can take away from Mark what he's done in his career. And it's a pleasure, and we're thankful that the fans are still open to receive us and enjoy our music. So we get joy out of that.
Look for Mark. I
That's
just called him.
awesome.
He said he's coming back. He said he
So
came back and
Dave,
never was out.
Dave,
So I don't know
you
what's going
just you
on.
just had a birthday pass too not too long ago, right, Dave?
There you go.
Yeah,
Neiman.
Dave
Yeah,
is
yeah, your
July the
birthday.
third.
Yours is 30th and
Dave
yours
is
is
July
14th.
the 30th.
30th, yours,
Yep.
yeah, that was so you just had one pass. So this is my thing, man. Me being an artist and being in the business, I'm gonna ask some of those questions. What's up with you, Mark? What's going on with you,
Are
Mark?
you? He's
Hey,
saying
what's
something because I
happening?
can't
What's
hear.
happening?
Can y'all hear
All
me?
I
good,
can
all
hear him. You
good.
can't hear him?
Nah, let me go out and come back.
I
All
can
right.
hear Dave, but I can't hear you.
Hold
Can
on,
hear me?
Dave.
You hear me, Joe?
Joe,
Yes, sir.
Mark, can you hear something?
Mark, can you
Yeah,
hear?
yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
my,
Welcome
my
to the
thing
show, Mark.
from the spiritual
Yes, sir.
aspect, of it, I always look at time and space, right? And an album that I'm working on called "Love You Like the '90s" because to me, from 1990, from about '87 to 2003 was the best era of music when people really there was a variety of music. When it comes to doing what you do now, what's your and Mark? I'm gonna ask you this. You just came in. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat right quick. What's up with you, brother?
All right, all right. What's good?
Listen, let me ask you something, Mark. You getting being a part of the Levert experience, right? What's the biggest challenge in being a part of the Levert experience? What's the challenge? What's the challenge that you face? Is there a group like? Is it practicing? Is it getting together, rehearsal? What's the challenge that you got that you face with the group?
Well, I think I mean, the challenges is being able to come out and be received. But I think that we pretty much have been doing that. So um, it's not necessarily a challenge, but just trying to represent the best that you can. But it's not really a challenge, you know. It's really just a continuation of doing what we always knew what to do, you know. So now that could be challenges if you let life get in the way of that. But I think for the most part, you know, we know where our bread is buttered. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So,
I like
so,
that, Mark. Okay.
so you know what I mean? It's really no challenge in that. It's just like, you know, if you don't do what you know that can bring you cash, can bring you just the overall enjoyment of what you've been doing for all these years, then we lost.
Pretty much.
You know some of the most talented people I've ever met from Ohio. Like really, I don't ever be scared to
Come
say
on,
it.
man.
I've been around a lot of people, but some of the most talented people I've met from Ohio. Now, Mark, man, you got some almost in common. Your birthday's September the 8th, mine September the
Yeah.
5th. So I know you're a little bit. My birthday's September the 5th. Now I'm a little younger, but you're a Virgo, I'm a Virgo. So I'm gonna ask you this. You'll probably know you know a guy named Angelo Ray from Ohio, producer. They had a brother named Tiger. They play drums or whatever the case may be. Tiger.
I'm not sure. I probably
Yeah, but
ran
he,
across them, but I'm not sure.
yeah. So I'm gonna ask
What
you.
city they from?
I think he's from. I think he's from Cleveland also. I think he's from Cleveland. I think he's from Cleveland. But he produced a lot of records. Man, there's a lot of talented guys. But I commend y'all for being humble enough to come together and execute. Because I find the older I get, the less the ego go down more, and I'm more focused on what it's going to take to execute and create revenue, and that kills a lot of any of the egos that I used to deal with, because I used to sing with a lot of people that were lead singers, and I know all you guys lead singer capabilities. How do you choose who lead what song? How do you choose that? What do you say? How did it come about?
It's just, you know, I think it's parts that fit the, you know, the person,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so certain parts fit, and it's pretty simple. It's not too difficult. You know what I mean? And I think you know, we chose in certain parts that work.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How long? How long?
because again, Stacy, like I told you, I toured with Levert for years, like 2 years. We have over 40 shows, man. A lot of
Mhm.
shows. Dave has been in the wing, so we know how it go. You know, basically, Mark sets the tone. You know, his leadership with selecting, the music, making sure everything is tight, letting us know who gonna sing what, because he's our producer also. So he been producing us since we was young bucks. You know, we came into the fold, and he was one of the mentors and one of the leaders in producing the songs and writing songs for us also.
Yeah. I'm glad that, you know, on top of that, I'm glad these guys is, you know, open to, um, you know, to doing, you know, these different parts and being able to, you know, just do it. And there is no issues with who lead what. It's just a matter of, hey, I'm gonna do this, or you know what I mean. It's just you know, we rock it out, and that's that. You know what I mean. So it's no kind of you know, issues on that level, or yeah, it's no issues like that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how long is the set, man? How long is the Levert experience set? How long is it? Hour and a half, hour, what, two?
3 days.
Yeah, it's normally like 60 minutes, but this weekend we doing 75. So that's like an extra 15 minutes.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna do something real quick if y'all don't mind. we hear these songs right here and understand that you guys wrote it, produced it, toured it, and it becomes monumental for millions and millions of people. You know, I grew up to this music. You know, I think I was around 14, 15 doing this area. But some of my siblings and cousins, like, parents play this while they clean the house up. And then they learn to understand and appreciate the words of the music and the meaning of this music. And they spread this to their kids. And when you guys go out here and you go into the audience and you see generations and generations of families listen to something that you build as you grew your career, what is it like today to look in the stands and see mom, grandma, and kids singing the lyrics to something that you sung and you grew up and made a living on, and now you're going around again doing the experience and you get to see it? Do you get to soak it in differently, or is it the same? I mean, because when you was touring, you guys were worried about performing, writing, doing the videos, doing the drops and all this other stuff. But what is it like to come back this time late in the career? Do you get to soak in that moment? You know, because it's a little different now.
Yeah, you know what? It is a little different, and but I think like early on it was like fresh, it was new, it was, you know what I'm saying? And now you're talking about 2 or 3 decades later, and you still get a response because some of these same people that came up and having uh memories about some of this music is they can reflect on it and tell their experience about what they were doing and how they were living, and you know what, you know, it's all kind of people and responses. Like we get a lot of people that was in the service and they was listening on the radio and they came across this song, and they saying what they did serving their time in the military, you know. So these songs, especially when they come from home, they touch, you know, hometown. You know what I mean? They touch. It touches them because their journey in life is filled around the music that they've been enjoying their whole life. So when they hear it again, it's like a refresher. Like, whoa, man, I remember what I was doing then, and I remember what was happening this time or that time. So it's a refreshing relived moment for a lot of people because it brought the music brought a lot of good memories for people.
That got to be a wonderful experience. I'm just sitting back thinking about, you know, like, when I hear that song, I can go into my mind mentally. I remember I had a 1982 Escort one tinted window, and I used to play the music. And people my age wanted to hear more of the rap stuff, but grew up in a house. You know, I came from Mississippi to California, so I like music with soul. You know, I like natural instruments. I like real music. And when I heard that, I just gravitated to it. And I just remember the days of just like playing that and Casanova and some of the other hits. And when I hear it today, with all the stuff that's going on, it takes me to a better place, you know. And I really appreciate you guys for making this music and reintroducing touring so that we can revisit normalcy, because this is not normal times that we're dealing with right now. You had that normalcy back in your life. You hear that from other people?
Right. Yeah, no, that's real. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It takes people back to a good place. You know what I mean? Everything wasn't perfect then, but it was a better, you know, environment overall. And I think that it gives people just a glimmer of, you know, what used to be. And I think, you know, we can make the best out of the times that we have now. But I'm glad that we're able to, you know, give people that breath of fresh air or relived, you know, air. Like, yo, that this is, you know, a good thing. You know what I mean? Makes me feel good as a writer, producer, and as a person.
Excellent. So, Mark, I understand that all of you guys came together at one point before joining the Levert experience. All of you guys from Cleveland. How did you guys get introduced to each other? How you know each other?
Well, I can
Well,
answer that
yeah, go
initially.
ahead.
Yeah, initially the Rude Boys were founded by Gerald at a nightclub. Me and Buddy actually, we were singing at a nightclub called The Reason Why, that was owned by one of the Cleveland Browns defensive back. He was a former Cleveland Browns at the time, Ron Bolton, and his wife Cuja. And so Eric Nolan Grant initially introduced me to Gerald, and I met him one day coming up to the house, the big house, what we call on South Park and Shaker, and I seen Levert, practicing at this little side, some little what was that, Mark? A little side house where they rehearsed.
It was a little patio.
Yeah, a little patio house, but it was enclosed. And so, I met Gerald, and then time went on. I never seen him again. And so, me and Buddy came up to the reason why we was singing, and I seen Gerald on the steps. And I was like, "Hey, Cleveland," while we was singing a song called "Everything Must Change," I was like, "Cleveland, yo, we got Gerald Levert here. Gerald, come up and sing." And he looked at me like I was crazy, but he came up, and we had a great, explosive performance. So he invited us to his house the next day. We met him and his father. We sang for him. His father said we was all right. Gerald was like, I'm gonna work with him. And then, I suppose Gerald went to talk to Mark about what he had discovered. And then we eventually met Mark. I had met Sean before then, but Mark was like the mystery guy. I always ask, like,
I was actually at the house when y'all came to the house.
where you at?
So
Where was you at?
I was there. I
Yeah, I
remember
remember in the back.
when he brung you and Buddy to the house. I was
Upstairs
yeah, I was there. I
with
don't
Eddie and
know what
Andy.
huh?
You was there?
Yeah, I was there.
I gotta tighten up my damn story then.
Well, you, I mean, well, at that time I was living there too. I was living at the big house then.
Wow. Okay, well
Yeah.
see, I'm man, I never told anybody that you was in attendance, bro.
Yeah, no, I was there.
I don't remember you.
I was there. I was there also the day that y'all got signed when Sylvia came down.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you
I
was
was
there.
there that
I
day.
mean, I
Yeah,
know I thought after that day you came around, but no, well, I'm glad that you telling me because I gotta go back to the book, rewrite everything. So that's all good. So,
yeah,
we
yeah.
met, that's how we met Mark and Gerald. Gerald introduced us to Mark and Pops, Eddie. And that was it, man. We went on to do great things. And so Dave, tell your story of how you met Gerald and Mark.
Hello, I've met my bloody story starts at about 1983, 82. No, actually, my mom, she worked for the government for 19 years before she passed away. And Gerald she used to work at this record store on the weekends. It's called Fillmore East with a lady named Beverly Taylor. Gerald would come in there all the time, and I ain't really thinking nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? We would say a few words, whatever, here and there, but they was like my mother and the lady, especially the lady, was like just going crazy over G. So so that's my baby. Anyway, he was coming in there, so it was like, and then after a while, I started seeing them perform at the park, at Woodhill Park, and one day he had is the guy named Jeffrey Charles that worked for ZAK in Cleveland, where I was at on the radio, and I don't know how we ended up at his house, but he had a show that night because he sings too, and he had an after party at his crib. So we used to always travel with that Casio keyboard with the tape on the back with the batteries, and Gerald came and they was like, sing, sing, sing. And we sang. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hook y'all up." We ain't seen him again for 3 years. That was '86. So that they was busy producing and going on. So then I saw him. Next time I saw him was '89. I was coming out the studio with my man Johnny O from Nerve DJs, coming out the building. Because my brother Chloe, rest in peace, he was dancing. We were dancing for them, believe it or not. And he said, "Yo, I got this idea for three big dudes that can sing, dance, whatever, blah 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 blah." And y'all gonna be it. So we had to go to the studio and audition. We went up there a couple days later. Everybody was there. Steve Russell was there too. And then we had to come back again and audition for his dad. And his dad, he was like, "Hey, you got one, you got one." And so here we are. Thus, therefore, and always and forever.
Man, that's an interesting story. I want to share something else
Long.
with you guys real quick. Just give me a second. Yo, I think you appreciate this one.
Man, you think you can sing this song today? I'm kind of hoarse today, you man. Pull it out. Buddy, watch your joke.
Buddy?
Man, Melvin.
You said buddy?
Well, look. Hey, here, dude. Come on, man. Come on. Hold on. Kick it. Shut down, 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 shut down. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say the words. You got to say it. Tell them what to do, baby. Smile, 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 smile for me. Smile for me. It's better than any word I ever heard. I know that I'm a very lucky guy to have someone like you. Oh, girl. I never met a girl in my life like you before. You make all my
And that right there was a hit. Joe, tell me this, Joe. Where were you and what was it like the first time you heard that on the radio? I mean, describe that moment to us.
I mean, it was surreal, bro. I mean, it wasn't the first time I heard myself on the radio at that time because it was actually our second single. But I mean, going into releasing Written All Over Your Face, first of all, we knew that it was a hit record. We felt it. Um, and we really had to convince Sylvia Ron and Atlantic to make it the second single. She was she wasn't really with putting it out as a single, but we push and we push and she like, all right, have it your way. We gonna do it. And when it came out, it just took off, man. And me hearing that record for the first time on the radio, I finally felt like, yeah, this is it, man. I'm on my way. Me and my group, we about to do it. And so it was a no doubt. Because when we did it in the studio, it was a very amazing moment, man. You know, from us singing it, getting it done, and then we putting Gerald on the song. Gerald didn't even really want to be on the song to add. He denied. He's like,
I,
nah, man, I don't want to hold y'all back, man. I don't want I want y'all to shine and this and that. And I just told him, I pulled it to the side. I said, it's the right thing to do. I said, man, go ahead in there and do it. So he went in there and did the parts, and dude, it was like magic. He just went in there and freestyled that stuff. It wasn't planned. It was a gap. The gaps was left for him, and it was the perfect storm. And it's just that song has all the ingredients for a smash hit. And they laugh at me all the time because I say, it's a smash because we have two number one songs actually. Are You Lonely? For me, a song that I penned and did along with Tony Nicholas is the other number one single. But Written All Over Your Face, pound for pound, I believe, and not just because it's my song, but it's one of the greatest R&B songs wrote in that time of the 90s, I will say. A pure standout. It was 1991 R&B Billboard Song of the Year. We went to the Billboard Awards to get it. And so that right there tells the story. But I mean, and each night I hear it when I see the people out there and the fans dancing and singing it, it is the same every time, man. You know?
that wasn't just a hit record. That was a hit statement. You know, people will say it. It's written all over your face.
Right.
So it wasn't just the topic song. It was like the topic statement. When you want to call somebody out on something, if you didn't believe what they were saying, you call them a lie. Or you're like, nah, that ain't quite a hit. It's written. I see it all over your face. Say there was just the thing. You just made a new evolution of way of expressing that.
For sure. Thank you.
D.
Thank you guys, brother. And This right here, I got one for you, Dave. Don't get quiet on me, brother. We forget you in the studio. We did not forget you in the studio.
Taking life for
Ugh.
granted, passing time
Two bites.
away.
Yo,
I was there for you, you were there for me. We would be together for eternity. I never knew there'd be sorrow, but I knew we'd be together tomorrow. Together forever. We were so wrong. Now I just can't believe that you're gone. And I'm so alone. Alone. You never miss a good friend until they're gone. And I'm so alone. I'm so alone, yes I am. I really can't believe that you're gone, gone, gone. Life goes on, and it's not the same.
So, Dave, tell us, man, what was it like at the completion of this project? You know, there's something that you had in your mind, you and your partner, y'all been practicing, working on it, you work at the radio station, you seeing other people's dreams come to reality and manifest, and now it's your turn to step up back. What is this like?
these are the words that I manifest. I manifest. Oh man, it was an unreal thing, man. I can just recall the first time, all the stuff going through. I wasn't that good in the beginning, I was okay, but I wasn't that, good. And it was tough working in the lab with G because he was brutal. If you was messing up, what the F you doing, B? Get the F out of there. Jason, go in there. And I would get, I had never been in the studio like that, really cutting no joints, you know what I mean? Not no joints like that. So when we were done, I was like, hallelujah, because I was glad that we were finished, but I was excited with what we had, and it turned out to be, a winner. That song is something else, man. I hate that that's the, well, I don't want to say I hate it. I said I'm grateful for the fact that everybody knows that record, but I just hate that it was not a different song that people gravitate to, because like when we grooving sometimes I don't want to pull over to the slow lane, you know what I mean? But when we finished, man, it was a breath of fresh air. We had already did some shows with G already, so people know we were coming. And I remember we met a bunch of people at the Impact convention in Philly. And Tom Jordan got on the radio and told everybody, he said, "Man, Gerald got these two 400-pound guys, man." And they was cracking on us like for a good 2 or 3 days. And but the rest is history, man. It took off super fast, man. That first single, "Use Me," was a top 10 record, and it took off really fast, man. I think it was kind of ahead of its time with the infusion of, how everything we did had rap on it. But that's because that's all I did was listen to rap, and all we did was listen to Nas and Mobb Deep and stuff like that. So we were even going to do a record called the Big Draws Posse, but then, they had all these people lined up, and then Sylvia's like, "Well, we don't want to ruin the guy's fan base by da 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 da," da." And I'm like, "Man, come on." But yeah, um, when it was done, I was like, "Phew, I made it," and I was happy with the majority of it. But here we are, man. I'm honored. You see, it's historical, euphoric, monumental.
I can see how this just come in sync. You guys all history, the geographical from Ohio, and the lineage of working in the same camp together. So the cohesiveness, and I don't think they could have put a better three guys together to pull this off. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm very glad that you guys are seasoned and mature to pull this off and give the fans like myself and everybody's piped in, something we've been longing for. Me, continuing. It's just like Larry Blackman with the cameo thing. We don't want it to end. We want the wheels to fall off. We want to keep rolling. This is a well groomed machine, and you guys are making it do what it do, and we all appreciate it. I'm sure everybody's appreciating it. So speaking of appreciation, you guys got a show this weekend, right?
yeah, sir. From your hometown,
Wonderful. So you
Oakland. Yay
guys gonna be up in the Bay
area.
Area.
Yay area.
So, people, if you guys are tuned in and everything, these guys will be at Yoshi's this weekend. So, y'all got to go check them out. They will be at Yoshi's. So, what time's the show?
I think it's 7 or 7:30.
Yep,
We
7:30.
Yeah, man.
Just some time to get some grub at
Yeah,
Yoshi's and then enjoy a meal. A little intimate thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a
yeah,
lot of choices to for entertainment, but we gonna be appreciative that y'all coming and see the up close and personal intimate joint
yeah,
with us.
yeah. Stay the night.
Man, I
Stay
wish I
the
was in the Bay this
night.
weekend. I would definitely be there. I wish I was in the Bay this weekend.
Come on, man. We're gonna get hyphy. We're gonna ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip.
Catch
Ghost
that
ride the
private
whip.
jet, man. Go ahead, catch that private jet.
Hey, we're gonna ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip.
Dave, you off the hook, man. You my brother from the mother. I miss
I'm
you, my
trying to
brother.
I'm trying to stay up, man. We taking it to the next level, and Mark has been my accountability partner. I just we just went to the gym, man, and I'm exhausted right now. Like I didn't know that this Negro was a god doggone physical trainer too, man.
Ain't that, but
Bastard, man. I'm sitting like, man, I don't know. He said, no, you can do it. Go ahead, just do it, just do it. Like he motivational with that. I like that was dope, man. And yeah, man. I wish that he had been around when I was losing, the weight, because then I would have probably worked out more. But like, the cats I normally Jordan left here. Most of the cats I mess with, well, I don't really deal with them that much no more. They gone on, you know. So we
yeah.
working on that dash. So we in the gym trying to increase that ass, that
Well, I
cash.
gotta, I gotta shout out my son because my son actually made me go. My
Yeah,
daughter been trying to make me go, but I just would never go. I've been sitting here making excuses, and my son said, "We going to the gym Wednesday," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna say no." So we went, and then I signed up, and I was just like, I was going ever since. But I'm used to that when it was just hard to get up and move. You know what I mean?
it,
COVID had me twisted
it's
to
it's
where I
different. It's
didn't want to
different
do
too.
nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But and then I'll say Dave too. Also is a motivation because I want to see him better. You know what I'm saying? But why by him being better, then I'm gonna make myself better because you know what I'm saying. So it's motivation all the way around.
he definitely don't let me out his sight in the gym. It's like he got me in one of
Hey,
them baby leashes, man. He'd be like, "Come on, 2 bites, we going over here. Come on, two
Two
bites, we going
months.
over here. Come on, 2 bites, you can do it out here." Like, come on, man.
So Mark, you live up here in Atlanta
hey,
too?
because I know where he would be if I didn't see him. He would be at that damn aqua massage joint, and he would
Ooh,
be getting that massage for 2 or 3 cycles. Like, nah, man, you got to work out first, and then you get it in.
So
But
y'all,
no,
Mark,
that
both y'all
uh,
stay up here, y'all stay up here in Atlanta now. Both of y'all in Atlanta, right? I know Dave, you in Atlanta,
yeah,
right?
You know,
Okay,
I
Yeah,
Mark.
met
yeah.
you was one of the first people I met when I came here because I was going around to them spots and you was doing party on that, party on that.
Hey, may I ask you something, Mark?
Yeah.
Being one of the original members, emotionally and spiritually, how does it affect you going out and doing these songs, knowing that your brothers are not here with you now? How does that affect you? What does it do internally? How do you handle that?
I mean, for me, is I'm really in a better place as far as mentally, because I have the faith and trust that the guys that's doing it with me is certified. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
thank you,
So
Okay.
Marky.
you know
Thank
what
you,
I'm saying.
Marky, baby.
It's not like trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just part of this is part of the family. You know what I mean?
We the subs. We the Tom Brady's. You know when Bledsoe messed up his knee and they brought Tom in and he never got his job back. That's what it is.
Mo Lewis put that hit on him. Mo Lewis put that hit on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, but that's amazing, man. Like I said, Chief, I appreciate the opportunity to come on here, man, and talk to some young legends. 'Cause these
Hey,
guys are still a part. They're
You
still a
my
part
guy,
of.
Stace. I've been trying to reel
hey,
you in
man.
for a
Listen.
minute, man.
Hey,
It's
Chief.
all in time, man.
Don't
Yes,
don't
sir.
come back on the station without him. Period.
Man, you gonna ban me from my whole station? Come on, brother.
Don't
I
come
brought
back
this
on
truck to
unless he
you.
with you.
Hey,
Cause
Now, Dave,
you my guy, man, and you have taken that network, GC Radio, and turned it into something, man. And I saw you from when you first started to now. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking for some years too, and
thanks.
salute to you for that. Cause a lot of internet stations don't even be like you got a network. Like you don't have a station, you got a network. You know what I mean? And you know, just
I'm just
don't come back on without him.
what's so
Stacy,
amazing?
I tell you, I
What's
call
so
him all the time. Stacy, what you doing? We getting on the air.
what's
Okay,
so
brother.
what's so amazing, man, is like I said, I'm a fan of all of you guys' work. And I grew up, that's how I learned how to sing a little bit when I got better and better. But these are the songs, and I'm talking to the pioneers. What role does a higher power play in
Look
your
at
life
that.
right now? What role does a higher power play right now in your life? Being, where you at in your age and what matters and what don't matter. What role does God play in it? Whatever the God you understand, what role does he play? You can start out, Dave.
I knew you was gonna start with me. Why did I feel that?
Because you a
Well, with
minister.
me, man. You know that was all.
You
I
an
ain't hear you. What
ordained
you say?
minister. You an
Uh,
ordained minister.
for sure. For me, man, I was, taught a certain way. My grandmother was like, devout Christian, and I had to go to. I had no choice. When the kids were playing in the basement, she came to get me, and if I fidgeted too much, she would pinch me. um and she always taught me never question God or something bad's gonna happen to you. But I still do sometimes, but I've learned to see it for what it really is. Let's just put it that way. See it for what it really is and what it really means. I sit down and not just react off it emotionally for things that happen in my life, but I sit down and I try to read or try to figure out what it means. So, to me, when you say the higher, saying higher power, God, the energy, spirit, Jehovah, Buddha, to me, it's all the same thing because but it's very important having a spiritual center, man. If I didn't, I probably would have jumped off the bridge a long time ago. And I'm not saying like physically, but I probably would have become detached, man, because with all the things that happened in my life, all the losses, all the career up and downs, all the health things that happened to me, I had to learn how to walk again at one point, man. If I didn't have that spiritual center, I wouldn't even give a damn about being in the group with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I went through depression, anxiety. I still deal with it. You know what I mean? I stay in therapy, and you know, it's very important, man. If I didn't have a spiritual center and learn how, oh, I wish I would have learned about mental health earlier because I didn't really start grasping the concept of mental health until probably my middle to late 30s, early 40s. You know what I mean? I'm 55 now, but I'm very serious about it now, and I'm very serious about anybody around me that brings rain to my situation. I'm locking you out my house. You can't come in here no more. You know what I mean? So yeah, and this right here is very therapeutic for me, man. It's the first time we did it on the cruise, man. It was like 1,000 pounds flew off my back. I saw it. You know what I mean? In my room, I was by myself, and I had just lost my niece, so I was. Yeah, man. It's very, 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 very important for me, man. If I didn't have a spiritual center, God, Buddha, Jehovah, Allah, energy, higher power, I would, like I said, I would have jumped off a building a long time ago.
All right. That's awesome. What
Uncle
about you,
Joe.
Mark?
Um, the higher power plays the most important part with me because it is my belief in knowing that God is within. And I mean,
Right.
even in the Word of God, it says you won't be left no matter where. God will be with you until the ends of the earth, and you never leave it. So God, a lot of understanding with me as I've grown is God is within me. I
Yeah,
can't lose. I can't lose. I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere without God being present. And so, I try to, you know, dig within, man, and just have my steps ordered in that manner. Really delving into my intuitions and intuitive prowess, and it guides me and it leads me, and I try not to grasp to the things outside of self. And so I'm a true believer in self preservation being the first rule of thumb, and that's where you find God. God is not outside of you, God is within you. If you are a child of God and you are part of the creation, then it's you, but you have to choose the things in which this on the positive good side, and you will be guided. So there was a sense since I was a child of that. I've lost sight of it at portions of my career and my life itself, doing negative things and not staying on the path. But there's a knowing now when I do things that's being led, and I'm being led from within.
That's awesome. What about you, Mark?
Um, indirectly, God played a part in us even coming together as far as Levert, because my mom, Gerald's mom, was Jehovah's Witness. And so that's how we became what we became indirectly. Um, but I believe that even with the lessons that I've learned over the years, either from my mom or faith, um, has come to play, because there's a lot of temptation that's out here that's definitely changing what the wholesomeness of where we
man.
come from, So um, that's always been a guard, I think, and I think that that those teachings and God played a part in kind of keeping us free from a lot of the temptations of the world.
Mm, good.
Awesome. You guys are very deep, man. It's the ocean, man. You guys, you guys in the ocean. That's awesome. That was awesome, man. Awesome delivery from all you guys. So I got a total understanding, man. That was my main question, because I know you guys are seasoned veterans now, and I know the perspective that you have now is way different than the perspective you may have had definitely when you first started. So at this point in time, legacy is I guess the main thing, and I just see a bunch of legends. It's like a bunch of legends have come together to create something that's new, innovative, and creative, even though it's not new. But we know that the '90s music and the old school music, new school, is back in full effect, like in full effect. People want it now. They're tired of the cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? And you guys come from that era to where you couldn't cut no cookie. You got it or you don't. It ain't no, we're gonna put this on his mic and tune his mic this way. No, you got to go get it. And that's it. So that was all the questions I had for you at this point in time. I just want to know where God was in you guys' life in this particular part of the race that you're in. That's it.
Gentlemen,
Let me find out.
let you find out what day.
Let me find out this dude is a broadcast journalist for real. Let me find out. Don't,
Well, we're
hey man,
making him
don't come
one.
back.
We're trying to make him one.
Listen, I
No,
got
Stacy, Stacy,
listen, I got to
Stacy.
tell you, I
See,
got
you
to tell
know,
you, you know how some people will see, you know how some people will see something in you that you don't see yourself. This is my first time ever doing this, man. I'm an artist also, but Chief always interviewed me, and I've been blessed to be able to, like I said, I was one of those guys that was an artist. My sister really was a singer. I had the character to be a star. I didn't have, I wasn't, my sister had it, you know, and I just was the guy that was follow along. But as time progressed, that kind of caused dissension amongst us too, sibling rivalry, because once I started making it and getting paid for it, she was the one really that was chosen by the people. I just happened to be chosen by God. And it's a difference, you know. So each one of you guys in your position have been chosen by a higher source, and I can see it, you know. And when the God of our understanding, whether it be Allah, Jehovah, whatever we call him, when he chooses you, I see something. I see the connection between you, between the three of you guys. You guys are still here. God has spared you guys' life to continue to push on and hold up the bloodstained banner of your
Just
groups.
don't know.
And me, from looking at you guys, I see the anointing beyond just the music.
Woo!
I see what people can learn something about. I see perseverance. People don't understand to persevere. Like I said, I remember when Dave was barely walking. I seen those stages, and I used to see him from a distance. And so if he didn't know, your pain can actually be somebody else's motivation. So I would see you going through your thing, and I'd be like, shit, I just got a sore throat, man. This man came here with a cane. He walked through all the embarrassment. He didn't care about what people looked at him and said, but I know you went up there and you still, but when you open your mouth, God didn't affect your voice. And once you start singing, that opened up. You forget all about the cane, you forget all about the ailments, you forget all about what it was. And that music, man. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you know, I just commend you guys.
Let me find out.
You finding out.
Listen, I forget.
You finding out.
I commend, and Chief, I appreciate you for bringing me on, man. Because, like I said, I learned something from these guys in this one setting. Because I tell people a lot of times, I got to go where y'all already been. You've been where I'm at as a person. You've been. Anybody that's younger, I always tell you, you'll never be wiser than somebody that's been there, because time give you wisdom. So I'm just listening to you guys, man. And like I said, man, my prayers. Now I'm not just saying this. Like, I'm gonna specifically pray for you guys' strength, your physical strength, your mental health, your spiritual health, and that y'all can go ahead and continue to move the bloodstained banner and deliver the same energy that needs to be heard, the energy of love. You know what I'm saying? The world needs it, the streets need it, the people need it. And I thank God for still having you guys here in good health and great health to be able to deliver this message that they're gonna hear. So I know Oakland, I know they're in for a treat. I know they're in for a treat.
Definitely in a treat.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Hey,
shout out to the Levert
Stacy,
experience.
you need to get your own show, man. Don't worry
Yeah.
about cousin Chief.
No.
Cousin Chief ain't going. He like, man, y'all trying to. No, cousin Chief, you get your own show, Stacy, or you can come and be under my wing with A1 Conversations. We can get it going.
Hold on, man.
I can pull you up under my wing.
You're gonna guy from me. I've been begging this guy to get on there. You
I
gonna
can
just
put look. I
When
can
y'all
pull
Got
you
a
up under
bid
my
war
wing.
going on, bro.
Hank.
I need me a co-host. Dog, cousin Chief was like, "Hey man, y'all trying to make it?
when
I
y'all
got,
gonna
I
be
got
you
you,
get your
bro."
own.
when y'all gonna be in Atlanta?
Huh?
When y'all gonna be in
Dave, when
Atlanta?
are y'all gonna be in Atlanta, Georgia?
On the 10th, Wind Down Wednesday at Maple House Amphitheater, September 10th.
Okay,
September
how many
10th.
groups on that? I mean, it's just y'all.
Just us and Bunny the Barge. And I don't know if they got
Bunny
anybody else on
B.
it.
Well, listen, this is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna go on my page and I'm gonna purchase 5 tickets and I'm gonna do a 5-ticket giveaway.
It's free.
You know? Oh, it's
Yeah,
free.
it's free.
Yeah,
Oh,
purchase
well, listen,
the tickets. No, purchase the tickets for the show this weekend in Oakland.
okay. Well, listen. Well, that's fine. So what I'll do, I'm gonna purchase 5 tickets for the show in Oakland and do a giveaway for some ladies out there in Oakland, because
There you go.
my whole thing is this: we as brothers, we have to show and prove that we support. And my thing is that, so I'm gonna do that tonight. I just need to know where to get the tickets from. Then I go on my page. Any Oakland fans, anybody out there that want the real experience, the Levert experience, they can get a ticket courtesy of Stacey Adams, the Love You Like the '90s movement. You know, that's my album. So I'm gonna get my Love You Like the '90s. So I'm dropping my album in about 2 months. I just did one with Anthony Hamilton. We just shot the video. So, but my thing is, I want to do that because I sincerely want to plant a seed because I know they need what you guys bring. They need it. They need it.
Right.
So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. So, you know, courtesy of GC Radio, Stacey Adams, like I said, the Love You Like the '90s movement. Y'all spreading that love, and I know it's gonna be infectious because y'all guys got gifts, man. Everybody don't have it, man. Like everybody don't got it. I'm just being honest. Me, I can look at you guys, and I read the bios, and I look back over some of you guys' work, and I see that y'all were chosen. Sometimes some people are chosen to be the glue, and then when it's their time, you guys are able to step out and then be the star. So now at this point, God just still showing the people this what we still have left of the real love. So y'all, man, I can't wait, man. I thank God I'm gonna be able to do it, and I just thank God, man. Y'all doing this, man. Please, man, my prayers is stick together, man, because I see the sky's the limit for what y'all bring together. Just stick together, man, and continue to do what you're doing, man. It's gonna be awesome. I love it.
Really. Hey, Stacey, what's your last name, Stacey?
Stacey Adams.
Like the shoe?
Stacey Adams. Yeah. Like the shoe. Now, Stacey already know. Now, Joe, Mark, and Dave, I'm putting y'all on notice. GC Radio has only been around for 1 year and 10 months. Our second year will be October. And we're going to do our anniversary party, put on a nice show. So we're asking artists to be a part of that. We'd like to bring you back, do a live interview, and get like maybe a recorded performance from you and show that on our show. We're also starting our own internet TV network next year. So we already have 11 radio stations. We're in 132 countries. We're on everything on the internet except for Sirius XM. Google us on Gemini, Siri, Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android TV, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We everywhere except for Sirius XM. And we would love to have you guys on our anniversary party and part of that show. If you would please embrace us and do that with us, we would love. I can give you the information.
What's the date?
It's going to be in October. I can give you the date. We haven't got the date lined up, but we line up the amount of people that we would like to have, getting it, the confirmations and setting it up right now. So
just hit AB. That's all you got to do is hit AB. It's a done deal.
Hey, okay. Send me the link in the chat or whatever. What I need to do to go to and get the 5 tickets, and then
Yoshis.com.
What is
Yoshis.com. I'll text it to you, Stacey.
Yoshis.com.
Okay,
cool. And Stacey, I seen some bread. We'll do it together. I got you on that one.
Send me some bread too. Yoshis.com.
Get some bread, Dave.
August 30th, baby. This Saturday at Yoshi's.
Dave, get a birthday present. Come on, brother. Come on, let's approach you. And when anytime you near me, I come pick you up. Come on.
August 30th. Right. Let me give you these dates. August 30th, Oakland at Yoshi's. September 5th, Asheville, North Carolina. September 10th, Atlanta, Georgia. Maple House Amphitheater, Wind Down Wednesday. September the 27th, Columbia, South Carolina for Geechee Fest. Charleston, South Carolina. And October the 19th through the 26th, the Tom Joyner Cruise, 2 shows with all the other people that's going to be on there.
You skipped over one show.
Which one? Oh, in Columbus,
Georgia.
Yeah,
where the one that we going to right after? When's that?
The 28th, the 27th, and the 28th, and that's my man. I did it again.
No, you all right. This ain't Ernest Bonner. You good?
Ooh,
good. You good?
It's my son's baby shower that day. Him and his girl, the 28th.
They'll be okay. Here you go.
It's only an hour away. I see y'all there.
That's awesome, though, man. Shoot, so that's awesome.
This is amazing.
I'm glad I met you guys, man. Like I said, it's like I said, I grew up. I was a kid, and to be able to meet the guys that changed my life and opened my eyes to music. And I was standing on the porch singing until they tell them to shut up. So y'all keep up the great work, man. Excellent job, dog.
You keep up the great work too, Stacey. Stay down. Keep doing you. Keep investing into yourself. And I see you got to do it with Anthony Hamilton. I mean, you spent a little bread.
Yeah.
You doing videos. God is blessing you, man. Just keep moving forward, bro. And
That's
like
it.
Dave said, send us some bread.
Party on that, party on that, party on that.
Was
And
that one
Dave,
of his
that was just on
singles?
the time,
Was that
Yeah,
Joe.
one of his
man.
singles?
When he
Dave met
first
me Dave met me when I was a rapper.
man, he had this record, but the chicks used to go crazy over that. He used to be like, "Party on that, I'ma throw a party on that." I'm just being clean right now. I'ma throw a
Right.
party on that, throw a
Thank
party
you.
on that. Man, I used to be like, "Yeah, man, yeah."
Then like I said, but I realized after a while how important branding is, and that's why I went straight to singing and keeping my brand a certain way to be able to eat across the board. Now I was eating good one while, but when that dried up, I said, "Lord have mercy." And I realized time and spacing. And one thing about good R&B music, I tell people, Southern soul is great. One thing about rhythm and blues, R&B ain't going nowhere. One thing about it, these songs from 1987 to 2005, that era there, you can't miss. It's the most versatile era ever. You guys, like I said, we got three men on here that gonna straight touch the spirit of the black community in the world. I ain't gonna say world, I'm gonna say the world. That's awesome, man.
Fellas, I'd like to give y'all a round of applause and thank y'all again.
Party on that, party on that, party on that.
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody is freaking them out or something. They doing like this.
That's when Stacy moved.
Yeah, my bad. Y'all can check my thing out called Al Big. That's the one that been getting out. If y'all get a chance to check it out.
And the
That's
ladies
one that's
call
been
GC Radio for him all the time. on
Al
that.
Big. It's Al Big on the STACII.
Al Big.
Al Big.
I
Yeah.
beg.
It's on the Love You Like the 90s album. The album dropping in December, but the Love You Like the 90s album is coming. Yep.
Everybody call him the new Lenny Williams. Lenny Williams go, oh. Stacey go, I. Hit it for one time, Stace. Give a little taste. Come on, bro.
Yes, I'm on here with these three guys, man. I'm scared to sing around these niggas.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Listen, y'all
This
go
your platform.
check my processing out. Hey, listen, I'm just playing. Y'all check me out though. Listen, all about man the Levert experience, man. Cuzzin Chief. I appreciate you, man, bringing me on because, like I said, man, I'm a grown man. I'm still starstruck, man, from these guys, man. The great music they put out.
No, you're not, man.
Real,
I see you
man,
all
like
the
I said,
time. You ain't starstruck.
I'm gonna be at the show in Columbus.
You don't see us,
my
though.
wife down in Columbus. Me and my wife coming to
You'll see
Columbus
them.
for the Levert experience. We come to Columbus and the Maple House.
Yeah, come to
Come
Maple
on with
House.
pull
I'll
up.
be there.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
fellas, you want to give your social medias or
man.
emails?
Man.
Y'all want to give your social medias
huh?
or websites, anything before we?
Yeah, we'll
hop
get a
on?
Levert experience, and then y'all can follow us from there.
Yeah. Individually.
The.Levert.experience on IG, and that's where we like to funnel our crowd to build up that presence. But you'll be able to find us, Mark Gordon on IG, Dave Tolliver Men at Large, and then you got Joe Little, Rude Boys Official.
And I just got one more request. Please bring some merchandise when you come to the Bay. Please bring some merchandise. I love them hats, man. And I want to eat the shirt. Yeah, I got to bring some merchandise with you.
We do.
Right
Oh,
on.
you
Yes,
coming
sir.
to the show?
Man, I'm not coming, but we sending some people there. We buying tickets. We
Okay.
sending people there.
You got the bread. I don't know why you don't just get a flight, bro.
And I got to go a lot of places, man. They got the
You know what happened? You know what'll happen if you come out there, Oakland?
What's that, D?
You gonna throw a party on that? Throw a party on that?
I've been promoting y'all all week. D seen the response. I mean, making reels and bombing people pages. I mean,
Like
I'm
20
totally supporting.
Oakland
I'm all
groups, all
in.
kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's dope.
I got you.
Word up.
So at
Son.
this time, I like to say my famous phrase. Hey, we hope we leave you better received with a smile on your face and grace in every place you go. Thank y'all for tapping in GC Radio, your favorite cousin Chiefs, the Levert Experience, the great Stacey Adams. Thank y'all so much.
In a world of endless noise, one sound cuts through. GC Radio Hub. Your world, your sound. Imagine your favorite voices following you everywhere. From your smartphone to your car, your smart TV, even your virtual assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio live music shows and podcasts, all at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.